So the big picture for this lesson is simplifying fractions. Simplifying fractions means to write a fraction in its simplest or most reduced form. So for example, 1/3 is a fraction that is in its most reduced form. So is 3/4, 4/5, and so on and so forth. What's an example of a fraction that could be reduced? How about 15/20? That is not in simplest form, and I know this because 15 and 20 have a common factor of 5. So 15 equals 3 times 5, 20 equals 4 times 5. So what I can do is I can simplify out these 5s, since 5 divided by 5 is 1, and that gives me 3/4. And 3/4 is simplified all the way because 3 and 4 don't have any common factors. So what you're doing here is you're applying the idea of greatest common factor. So in this example, the greatest common factor of 15 and 20 is 5. And then by removing that, what's left is the reduced fraction. This can be modeled using Venn diagrams. So what I can do is this will be the 15 side over here, and this will be the 20 side over here. So the 15, the 3 goes here, that's not in common. The 5 is in common, and the 4 is not common. And if I wanted to factor this all the way, I could call this 2 times 2 instead of 4. So there are a couple of 2's in here. But that isn't really important because what we're interested in is what's going on here with the 5. This 5 is in common, so it's not going to be used. So what's left? The 3 and the 4. So the 3 is the numerator, the 4 is the denominator. Let's do one more example. 16 out of 32. What I'm going to do is I'm going to factor the 16 and the 32 all the way. 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. But I got that because 4 times 4 is 16, so that's 2 times 2 is 4, and then the other 2 times 2 is another 4. And 32, that's 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times over. And you can do that doing this type of factoring tree, 2, 16, 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2, just like that. Okay, so what happens here? These 2's cancel out, so do these, so do these, so do these. All these reduce out, and you have nothing up here and then a 2 down the bottom. Now when everything reduces, you need to put a 1 as a placeholder. So your fraction is going to be 1/2 in simplified form. Venn diagram here. What's going to happen is if this is the 16 and this is the 32, there are going to be 4 2's in here. That's in common, and another 2 here for the 32, and the 16 is just going to be the 1 as a placeholder. All right, so that's the big picture for this lesson, simplifying fractions.